Okay, so let's talk about the submissive side when it comes to hierarchy. So there again, we're going to go by the two different types of DOMs. This is a type of DOM who thinks they're healing and helping people. This is a type of DOM who's like, no, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to be obeyed. Now, I want to make it very clear. I'd said in the other video that these DOMs are fully conscious, but the more I think about it, not all of them are. There are going to be those who are fully conscious and they're like, I am here to hunt people. But there are DOMs who look at this type of doming as the true BDSM, and such a weird word to put into this, but it kind of fits in a really fucked up way. But they're like the traditionalists of BDSM. So fucking weird to say that, but they're the ones who are like, this is, BDSM is just like this. This is what it looks like. You do absolutely everything you say. I say you're not a human. Okay, that's problematic in itself. That's unsafe. That is not safe, sane, nor consensual. It's problematic. It's very unhealthy, very unsafe. And then there's the two DOMs, and then there's the flat out predators who come in. They don't give a shit about anything that's going on BDSM. They just see easy targets, and they will come in, pretend that they're a dom, and they will hurt you. Some people have died. This isn't a joke. This is serious. um this is dangerous. BDSM is dangerous, and the BDSM, there are predators who watch the BDSM realm, find them ways into the BDSM world, and do severe harm. And there are those that are organized who do this. So there's a lot going on. But I will say, because I'm like, let me think about this a little more. I do want to say that there are those people who are still in this category who are unconscious. They don't understand either. There's something that's blocked. And when I say this stuff, people are like, how the fuck can people not understand the very basics, you know? And I understand your outrage, and I understand your shock. That's a healthy response. But here's the thing, most people in BDSM are from pretty extreme forms of trauma. If you're a Dom, you most likely came from some form of extreme trauma. Not everybody. There could be unmanaged issues going on there too, but most Doms have come from some fucking hellacious shit, and this was normalized. And most likely, I can't say for everyone, I can't speak for, all Doms, but most likely this stemmed from childhood, from some really extreme forms of abuse in childhood. Um, we're survivors of child trafficking. We were trafficked as teenagers, and when we tried to run away, and then we were trafficked as an adult. When you have trauma normalized and you're trying to process that, you find yourself in these worlds, and a lot of DOMs were groomed at a young age to be what they are now. So I know this is horrifying for the layman to witness and hear, and that's normal. But before you go again with the pitchforks and everything, understand that they're still human beings. They've been through some shit and they need support to get out. It's why I created the conversation free from BDSM, because as a former dom, there wasn't spaces for doms to leave, and it's understandable. It was mostly like subs being like, what happened. We experienced being a sub as well, but for DOMs trying to process how to get out of that, there wasn't. So here, this is a space for everyone, sub DOM switch. Whatever aspect you were in BDSM, this is a place for you to come and actually find your way out if you haven't already. And if you left, there's a place to support you in your healing process and in your healing journey. It's why I created the conversation of free from BDSM, to help people get away from BDSM and those who have already gotten away from BDSM, and to hopefully support people staying the hell away from BDSM. So let's go back to a little insert, because I want to make this very clear. This isn't a call to attack DOMs or to dehumanize them. There needs to be some kind of understanding, because at the end of the day, DOMs are being exploited by society. And I will go deeper into that. Society as a whole has their part in the making of a DOM. And y'all need to fucking understand that. I'll go into that. I will go into that. It's not an easy thing for people to understand because it's so much easier when you hear stuff like this to just be like, you know, grab a pitchfork and go after people. And I understand. I mean, even in my own healing, I did that. I was like, wait, that doesn't work. Um, but I understand the raw pain and everything. So, because I get it from I understand this process in all angles. We were submissives, we were switch, and we were doms. So we've had the whole gamut of it. So, but back to the hierarchy. So we have the doms who think they're healing people, and then we have the doms the traditionalists, who are just blatantly there. So there's capital punishment, and the doms who are really into capital punishment, that would make the distinction. Though it's not always that clear cut because there are people who are into capital punishment who think they're healing people. I know that doesn't make any sense. So I guess that can't be the full distinction. But anyway, these DOMs, the way their hierarchy goes is as a submissive, your goal all the way up here should be to be a hollow shell for your DOM. You don't exist anymore. Your only existence is to serve the DOM, and they will rebuild you how you want. We had the skill set to do that. We never went there, but we had the skill set to do that. I mean, we still have those understandings. We still have that so-called skill set, um, but we never wanted to go there. Like I would say we never. There was a grooming towards that, and the idea of like, but we veered away from that. We didn't like humiliating people. We didn't like it. It was one thing we did not do in BDSM. When we were trafficked as DOMs, when people insisted in it on it, we'd do it, but it always left it with the ick. We really didn't like it. We didn't enjoy that. So we didn't like to humiliate people. But I mean, when I say I don't like we didn't like to humiliate people, I mean in the overt, verbally way and all this other stuff, demeaning people and stuff like that. But ultimately, all of BDSM is humiliation. But we meant like in that, you know, verbal humiliation and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's that type of level of a dom. Now, there's this type of dom, and I didn't interact with enough of them to understand what their hierarchy would be. So I'll just speak from our perspective as this type of dom. The hierarchy of that was still submission, but with seeming care, right? But it's still do as you're told. The pain hierarchy didn't always fit. That still can fit with even DOMs that think they're healing. It's less likely, but it still can fit there too. So this is what the sub hierarchy looks like. In this one, the highest level, you are a shell. You exist only for your master. And in this level, you are still highly submissive. You do as you're told immediately. Now, we're going to go into the racism of BDSM and the fact that BDSM is sexualized slavery. You know, you're using the terms master, servant, all these things. Now, I know servant's been used not just in so many different avenues. I'm not saying it's just been used in BDSM, but BDSM is foundationally racism. You are sexualizing slavery. Okay, now, so that's what that looks like for submissive.